In this demo, I'll be going over code comments and how they can be used to increase the understanding of your code for yourself and for future developers. So here we have the initial program that's created using the cargo build tool when you make a new project. It simply prints "Hello World" to the console. Let's add some comments to enhance the readability of this program a little. In order to add comments, do 2 forward slashes followed by your comment. I left a comment. This is the entry point of the application. The entry point of an application is simply the very first function that's ran when your program gets executed. I want this to be 2 lines long, that way it fits better on the screen. To do that, we can have an additional line with 2 slashes, and that completes our code comment for the main function. Next, I'm going to add a comment above the print line macro to display the reason why we're doing this print line. So I'm going to state display a message. So this comment could use a little bit of improvement. Judging by the print line macro, we can assume that it's probably displaying a message. So this comment seems like it may be a little unnecessary. So I'm going to add more context so we know why we're displaying a message. Now the comment reads, display a message to the user. So now when we encounter this particular print line macro, we know that we're both displaying a message and the target of the message is a user. In multi-user scenarios, there could be guest users, administrator users, manager users. However, we now know that this is just being displayed to a typical user, and we can adjust it accordingly in future iterations of the code. Usually with code comments, you want it to enhance the code that you've already written, and the code should generally speak for itself. In many cases, comments are unnecessary, as the code should be clear enough to where you can read it and understand what's going on. However, sometimes code gets a little complicated, and it helps to have comments in those cases. Let me give you an example. I'm going to make a variable called a, and I'm going to assign it the value of red. Now, as we can see, we know that there's a string value of red, but we don't know what it is being used for or the purpose. And we know A is just a letter of the alphabet. It doesn't describe anything particular, and we're not sure how this could be used in the program. Red could be the color of a program, it could be the color of a car, it could be a signal light to stop cars. We just don't know. So if we add a comment, my favorite color, we now know that the A is my favorite color. However, we can do better than this. Let's just delete this comment and simply rename the variable. Now we know that this red is actually my favorite color. So now we avoided putting a code comment and we let the code speak for itself. Throughout this course, you may notice that I try to use descriptive variable and function names. And this is the reason, because you want your code to speak for itself and avoid using comments when you don't need to. This concludes the video about comments. I'll see you in the next presentation.